UFC, this is Ken Shamrock, the world's most dangerous man and UFC Hall of Famer. You're watching Championship Rounds with Marcel Pierre.
Are back on top. World champions for the 27th time. The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles. Back to throw Montana. Step left throws. This fight is over. Floyd Mayweather has a knockout victory over Ricky Hatton. Smiling. Oh! He slapped him! Conor McGregor is the new UFC Featherweight Champion of the world! Oh, unbelievable!
Put the countdown flag up! Hell no!
Welcome back to Championship Rounds. As always, the kid Marcel Pierre, live in the flesh. Well, not live, but in the flesh. And yeah, I thought I'd come back here to cover a notable fight night in the UFC. Yeah, UFC Fight Night, and that's Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. And I'll get to that. I got a few other things I want to touch on before I get out of here today. And as always, I appreciate the new subscribers that I received. Big ups to you guys. You guys are the real MVP. Everyone else, if you like, share, comment, subscribe, helps me out tremendously. And as always, I appreciate that more than you know. All right. So, I'm not going to spend too much time with the preliminaries today. I'm going to get into what I'm here to discuss. And yes, the first order of business is indeed UFC Fight Night, Dillashaw versus Sandhagen. Or should I say Sandhagen versus Dillashaw? Because, yeah, I'm not even going to get into that fight first, because I'm going to get into just a couple of fights on the undercard first, because I'm not going to do the whole card. I'm not even going to make picks here. I'm just going to, give you an idea of what to expect and why you should tune in to this particular fight night. On the undercard, it's pretty much, there's some names on there, and I'll get to the notable names after I've discussed two of these fights here. But it's almost like an up-and-coming women's MMA contender matches. Two of them. One in women's bantamweight, that's 135 pounds, and the other women's flyweight, 125 pounds. Four young up-and-comers oozing with potential. Either one of them could catch lightning in a bottle and possibly become your next star in women's MMA. So let's get to the first one there. The first one is number 13, and this is the flyweight bout, 125 pounds. And it's Miranda Fear the Maverick. And she's going in there against number 14, Macy the Future Barber. Now, again, you got 13 going against 14. I mean, that's great matchmaking already right there. But it gets better. Maverick's coming in 24 years of age. Barber's 23. So they're right there in age as well. Getting each other at the same time in their careers, so to speak. Now, Miranda Maverick, she's on a 5-fight winning streak. She is a high-volume striker. Very high volume. I feel like between the two, she's got even more potential than anybody else that I'm going to discuss in these two fights. Yes, Miranda Maverick is a seasoned striker. She's a killer. All right? Don't put her in there with your bargain basement contender or non-contender. You know what I mean? Journey woman, as I will. But let's see. What do I got on here? Yeah. Very fluent in striking and grappling. She's 9-2. She's never been stopped. She finished the last opponent that defeated her. Yeah, she lost a unanimous decision to an opponent, got a rematch, and finished her rear naked choke. Okay? She's got 1 TKO and 5 submissions. So a lot of the time she touches these girls up, they shoot for takedowns and give her submissions. Obviously, she's good enough to get the submissions, and that's why she gets them. But she could finish these girls on the feet, but they choose, oh, well, I'm getting touched up on the feet. I'm getting clipped. So they go to the ground, and they get finished there instead of on the feet. A la Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 1. Okay? Getting touched up on the feet, so he shoots, and then he gets finished on the ground. All right? Opponent, Macy Barber, who made the bold claim that she was going to be the youngest champion in UFC history, even younger than John Jones was. Said that she had a reminder on her phone. I don't even know how she had it set up. Don't really care, because it ain't going to happen. She's on a 2-fight losing streak now. She started undefeated, obviously, off the Contender Series, blowing the doors off of it. She's since then stumbled against Roxanne Modafferi, and I don't recall who the other one was, but she is on a 2-fight losing streak. I think it's 2 decision losses, but losses nonetheless. What else do I got on Macy? Record's 8-2, never been finished, and has only 1 decision win, which means she's finishing these girls. Fun fact, Maverick faced the same opponent that Macy did in Jillian Robertson. Jillian actually was TKO'd by Maverick, but lost a decision to Barber, and that was her lone decision. All right. One other thing to note, Barber is a former strawweight. Okay, so she's on a 2-fight losing streak. She loses this fight, making it 3 in a row. She can always revert back to strawweight, even though she had some issues with the weight cut there. But this is definitely a fight to keep your eye on. Both of these girls are going after it. Both of them have title, championship aspirations, and they're not afraid to put in the work and earn it. So keep an eye on this one. All right, I'm going to move on to the next fight, which is pretty similar. Almost the same fight, just a different division. All right, in here you got Aspen Ladd. She's coming in at number 3 in the bantamweight division. High ranked. And she's coming in against number 10, and that's Macy Chiasson. I don't know. If I'm Chiasson, I'm just going to say Chiasson. Or Chasen. Okay, it's Chasen. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but yeah, she's number 10. She's the Ultimate Fighter Tough 28 champ. So she's got that under her belt. Aspen Ladd is just a knockout artist. All right, I'll get into that. All right, let's see here. Ladd's coming in at 26. Chasen's coming in at 29. Again, these girls are right around the same age. This is another fight to keep your eyes on here. Both of these girls have the same championship aspirations. And again, they do put in the work to get it. All right, let's start with Aspen Ladd here. All right, Ladd's only defeat was against Jermaine Durandamy. That's a TKO in 2019. She has a record of 9-1. That was she has a 3rd round finish of Yana Kunitskaya, who just lost to who just beat Yana, Irina Aldana. But yeah, she has a TKO win over her in her last fight. That's back in 2009. So she's been off for a little bit. She's had some time for the ring rust to build up, if you believe in that. That's 2 years, all right? She's been off as long as the headliner in this one, TJ Dillashaw. So take that for what it's worth. Again, all right, Ladd has finished all of her opponents with the exception of 2 fights against Sijara Eubanks that she won by unanimous decision. And she has had weight cutting issues. She did miss weight once. She's got 6 KOs and 1 submission. All right, moving on to her opponent, Macy Chiasson. She's 29 again. Her lone defeat came against Lena Landsberg by unanimous decision 2 years ago in 2019. And ironically, that's a fighter that Aspen Ladd, her opponent, TKO'd in the 2nd round. All right, so Chaison's record is 7-1 with a unanimous decision win versus Mary Renault in her last fight. Mary Renault just got beat by somebody I'll talk about later. Yeah, so she's on a 2-fight winning streak. She's got 2 KOs and 2 submissions. All right, what do I got to say about this? Again, Aspen Ladd is the name here. People know that name. Hardcore fans, maybe not the casual might not know her, but yeah, she's been knocking girls flat. Yeah, putting on cold demonstrations left and right. Yeah, she ran into Jermaine Durandamy, the inaugural featherweight champion, who's actually competed professionally against a man. Yeah, a man. You can look that up. That's true. That's not cap. But anyways, yeah, she stumbled against her. She came back. She knocked out Yana Kunitskaya, got back to her winning ways, and more importantly, got back to her knockout ways. So she's in here with Macy Chiasson. She's got the youth on her side. Macy's a little bit longer in the tooth, although both women definitely in their prime. Again, both of them want it. Nobody wants to lose. Women's MMA is crazy, and these two are two of the actual better fighters to do it. And I said later, like both of these fights, this one and the last one, I said earlier rather in one of my episodes that the women's MMA, the divisions are top heavy. This is part of the top heaviness. These are actually the good fighters, these two fights, and that's why I'm highlighting them. All right? But moving on, I'm going to go ahead and get to the main event, the one that I'm really wanting to talk about here. Again, TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen. Yeah, they're getting in there and they're hooking them up, as Mazzagatti would say. I think that's Mazzagatti. But yeah, they're going to get in here and hook them up. All right? The elephant in the room is TJ Dillashaw. So I'm going to start with him. Dillashaw is a former 2-time UFC bantamweight champion of the world. He lost it the first time to Dominic Cruz by decision. All right. He then got it back, and then he lost it to Henry Cejudo. All right. So, but No. Yeah, he sorry. Let me be accurate here. He lost it to Dominic Cruz, and then he lost it because he popped for EPO, performance enhancing drugs. Yes, he did lose to Henry Cejudo, but it was on his quest to be a champ, moving down to 125 pounds, and that's significant. That's very significant. But yeah, his first fight back in 2 years, got the 2-year suspension, hasn't fought since 2019, but the man is a striking aficionado, and his wrestling is up to snuff as well. He actually beat a very noteworthy wrestler from my area in Matt Jaggers. Shout out to Matt Jaggers. But yeah, he defeated him in the Ultimate Fighter to get into the house. All right, and I was watching that, rooting like hell for Matt. And he it pretty much went to the end of the first round, and then they waved it off. But yeah, I would have liked that fight to have went to a second round. Neither here nor there. It's not what we're here to talk about. But shout out to Matt. Again, TJ Dillashaw is coming back, and he's no spring chicken anymore. All right, the man's coming back. I think 35 years of age. Yeah, 35. All right. Let's see here. I mentioned that he got knocked out by Cejudo at 125. Yeah, he cut a lot of weight. His first professional bout at that weight class. So, and TJ Dillashaw oftentimes gets hurt and then comes to life. He does that. So take that for what it's worth. He's not cutting all that weight for this fight. He's going in there against a former training partner in Corey Sandhagen. Yeah, the two used to hook him up in the gym. How they went, you'll have to look into that. I don't know if it's out there. Whatever happens in the gym stays in the gym usually. Now I know a lot of shadiness have gone on with TJ Dillashaw in the gym and Team Alpha Male. I think that's in the past though. So I don't think you'll see any gym footage coming out for this fight. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, alright? I'm not going to say that that's a guarantee. Here's another fact about TJ Dillashaw before I move on to his opponent. The number 2 contender in Sandhagen. I believe he's number 2. Let me see here. Yeah, he's number 2. TJ Dillashaw is not ranked. Tyler Jeffrey is not ranked. Alright, so yeah, he's like, again, did I lose my place here? What was I going to say here? Oh yeah, I got it. USADA went back and tested all of TJ Dillashaw's samples from previous fights, and they all came back clean. So take that for what it's worth. Wanted to throw that out there before I moved on and neglected it. But again, TJ Dillashaw is a complete fighter. He's got 8 KOs with 3 submissions, so he can do it all. He can do it all. All right, and the last man to TKO Dillashaw was all the way back in the Tough finale, Tough 14, back in 2011. The magician John Dodson happened to chin check him, clipped him, and won that fight. Ended up winning the season. But since then, the man has been nothing but a killer until he made the cut to 125 pounds. But enough of him. Sandhagen looking phenomenal, all right? The man is putting on striking clinics against everybody he faced. He's on a 2-fight winning streak. He just knocked the hell out of Marlon Moraes. And then he coupled that with a nasty flying knee against the answer, Frank Edgar. Yeah, definitely put Frankie Edgar away like he's never been put away before. Worse than the Ortega fight. Okay, so, but one thing to note, MMA math just sometimes doesn't compute, because what happened with, Sandhagen is he got in there with Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain took him down and took his neck in the first round, and it was seemingly effortless. You got you telling me Dillashaw doesn't have the wrestling prowess and the submission prowess of Aljamain Sterling? Maybe Sandhagen had an off night. Maybe he did. But both of these men have the ability, absolutely, to put your damn lights out. And they'll both be looking to do so, because I think whoever wins this fight will get a fight for the title against the winner of Petr Yan and Aljamain Sterling. All right. That is UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Dillashaw. Before I move on, a few other noteworthy things about this card of why you should tune in. Darren the Damage Elkins is on the card. I don't know why anybody would want to have a nickname, the Damage, and actually get it tattooed on their damn chest saying that, yeah, I'm going to get my ass beat, but maybe I'll win. He's on the card. Mickey Gall's on the card. Yeah, the guy from Looking for a Fight that they brought in to fight CM Punk. He armbarred, I believe, CM Punk with relative ease, but has had a wishy-washy career in the UFC thus far. Does have a win over Sage Northcutt. But yeah, his back's against the wall. So look for him to give it every damn thing he has to get the win and preserve his spot and preserve his damn job. Because UFC is not trying to do anybody any favors. And if they don't think you can potentially fight for a title one day, they won't keep you around. All right. More than that, an absolute banger that you should have to tune in, or that you should want to tune into. Punahele Soriano versus Brendan Allen. Yeah, these two are going to get in there and throw some blows, and somebody's going down. Okay, don't miss that. All right, don't be the guy that has to hear about it and then look it up and try to find a highlight. Watch this one. Somebody's getting taken out. Kill or be killed. That is this fight. All right, another fight. Nasruddin Imavov and Ian Heinisch. Another good fight. Both of them very high level. Look for them to get in there, and both look brilliant. And we'll see who comes away with that win. And other than that, the only 300 favorite on this card is Sijara Eubanks. Yeah, I mentioned her earlier, but she's on the card. Another notable name. So that's your card. These are the reasons why you should tune in. You might not be familiar with these names, but I'm telling you here, they're going to be great fights. So don't miss them. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead to the Professional Fighters League. Yeah, the PFL. I'm bringing this up because there's some movement, some fight scheduling. Yeah, Red King Rory MacDonald, who lost his last fight in PFL by a controversial decision. A fight that he should have won on everybody's stat sheet, on CompuBox or whatever CompuStrike rather. Like, all of the numbers favored him. If you watch the fight, the rounds favored him. But somehow, Gleison Tibau came away with that victory. All right? Well, Rory MacDonald's scheduled here to bounce back. And he's going against Brada Boy. And that's Ray Cooper III. All right? He is an absolute banger. Looking to knock you out. Red King, you don't get that name for a reason, but I feel like he's going to control Brado Boy on the ground and cruise to a win. Not making a pick here, but definitely tune in because I'm definitely wanting to know what's going to happen there. Rory MacDonald is a great fighter, former Bellator welterweight champion, and former top title contender in the UFC. All right, protege of George St. Pierre, if you will. All right, records coming in here at 21-8. He's got 7 KOs and 8 submissions, so he'll finish you. He's got the ability. He hasn't lost that. Tune in. Cooper's 28, McDonald's 31. Cooper's won a Professional Fighter League's welterweight tournament. That's something to note. And he's currently on a 4-fight winning streak with a record of 22-7. He's got heavy hands, 14 KOs, and 7 subs. Has he fought anybody the caliber of Rory MacDonald? Is Rory MacDonald still of that level, of that par? You're going to have to find out. I'm going to have to find out. I'm going to watch. All right, moving on. I got something here for you. Yeah, everybody knows by now if you've been following anything, boxing or MMA, Oscar De La Hoya, and I've been talking about it. Oscar De La Hoya is going to get in there with Vitor Belfort, the Phenom. That's happening September 11th, 9/11. Interesting date choice. Los Angeles, California. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play a clip of Vitor Belfort prior to this fight being announced, and it's pretty much him making the call out, if you will. Yeah, he put Oscar De La Hoya on his radar, and I guess Oscar obliged him because the fight's official now. But here's Vitor right here. Sorry for the background noise. It's in the gym.
Boxer stepping on UFC, he'll tell you he's the Vitor Belfort. He knows that.
Did you say you had the quickest hands ever in a octagon?
Man, you should fight Jake Paul. I said, Dan, let's go. Set them up. They don't want to do it. They want to pick fights. Like I said, they are calling him, asking for easy opponents. He's looking for easy opponents.
Could you fight tomorrow if you had to? Like, are you under contract? Because they said this fight GSP can't fight.
Tomorrow I'm here with my agency. They fight tomorrow. Tomorrow we're free.
Would you fight tomorrow? Oscar De La Hoya? They say him and GSP both will fight.
Oscar, I call him the most scared guy in the planet. He's looking for an easy fight as well. So Oscar, I'll give you a smaller ounce gloves. I'll go with a bigger glove. They won't be a little heavier than you.
Nobody would ever sanction that. That's fairy tale.
Try to pick up a GSP or someone else. Pick someone and we can really box with you. I promise you, I'll put you down.
So it's safe to say that the Phenom ready to get in the boxing ring and knock somebody out.
Oscar wants to drink his tequila and do other things. You look at me, I'm in the gym. I'm fit, I'm ready. I'm ready tomorrow. And I'll go in your room, not you, my room. You cannot come into my room, my man. You're not survive.
So, what do you think it would take for you to get that itch out your system and be done once and for all?
The problem is like, he even accepting the fight. If he accepts the fight,
He really wants that fight.
So let's go, Oscar.
At this point.
I'll give you this. Mayweather's 40 pounds different in his fighting. Let's go.
So you really want this De La Hoya fight?
Oh, man.
That's the real fight. That's how they woke you up now.
Tomorrow.
Even though he's the top of the boxing ring, you're not worried about
Listen,
that?
man, I'm the Vitor Belfort, and I'm not scared of any man. I fought guys 370 pounds. I'm not afraid of anybody.
Obviously, you're not afraid, but do you still have the ability?
If we can box
There's a
and I can
chance
grab
still.
him, get a grab with him,
You've been stretched a lot of times.
But you know, you have some rules in boxing. But you know, if I can just do like, let's do hand fight. You know, no referee, let's do this hand fight. Let's give the fans what they want. They don't want to see, box. They want to see real fight. I'm only going to hit with my hands, but I'll be able to grab. Get a grab on him. Grab his wrist and feel the grip. It's different. It's a different beast, man. I've been in many battles. He's been in many battles, but his battles are different than my battles. My water is called deep water. It's a shallow water. You can see the shit, the shelf. With me, you have deep sharks. Great white sharks.
What are you talking about?
It's on you, Oscar. You take it. You take it or leave it. Just say no.
Well, apparently Oscar De La Hoya took it because again, it's happening on 9/11, and yeah, I guess it's an exhibition. That's what it's being billed as. So I don't know if a winner will be read off. This is going down. Triller's doing this. The team that did Tyson versus Jones. It's the team that did a lot of Jake Paul fights. Well, I say a lot, but he's two. Let's say two or three. I think 3. Yeah. So, Triller's doing it. So, that's coming up September 11th, next month. So, if you're interested in that, keep an eye on that. I do have one more thing for you on that, and that is, since the fight's been made official, Oscar De La Hoya. You know, this is during the build-up and what he has to say about his training for Vitor. Here's Oscar.
What type of sparring are you having ahead of the Belfort? Ahead of getting ready for Belfort?
You know, I'm actually not gonna spar the way I used to spar. I used to spar every day.
Yeah.
Wear and
Old school
tear.
style.
Old school, bro. My training is gonna be smart. You know, my thing is more of the timing. Like, I'll spar a few rounds here and there, but I'm not gonna get beat up. You know.
In preparation.
The preparation is gonna be smart. It's gonna be where I'm gonna get in great shape, where I don't have to go running anymore. I can do bike. I can swim. I can do other things where I don't have to wear combat boots and
Kill your legs.
kill my ankles, my knees. So that's gonna be the difference, bro. I'm gonna save myself for the ring, for the actual fight. Before, I was more, there's this thing about being a gym fighter and an actual fighter. I think I was both. You know, I loved getting into wars in the gym, and then I loved getting into wars in the actual fight. So, I survived it. I was lucky, but I'm gonna do it smart now. I'm gonna conserve all my energies for the actual fight.
One more question, Oscar. I know you kind of dropped the big bomb here about
In a long time.
getting after Floyd come Cinco de Mayo, and if that's not available, even going as far as challenging Canelo. Have you ever? Is that a more recent thought that you've had, seeing him and saying, like, as a fighter, as a legend yourself, having that moment of saying, like, I could take him?
I think after a few weeks, a couple of months of training, my confidence level was going higher and higher. I can't wait to start sparring. So I've actually sparred a couple of times, but I can't wait to really, against
He
an
slipped
elite
up a little bit
fighter
right there.
and feel it, So my confidence level was just going higher, and so I my reflexes feel amazing. I think I like to say that I had 14 years of rest, and now
To recharge?
dusted off all the cobwebs, and hey, let's go.
September 11th, Los Angeles, California. Triller pay-per-view. Moving on. All right, because got a few more things I want to touch on. The next thing, obviously, I announced I did a show on Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. Well, they've since had a press conference, and I was very entertained. And I'm going to play a little bit of it for you, because it's very entertaining. And here you go.
Quote, I saw it in his eyes. I saw it deep in his soul that he knew this right hand was going to crack him in his skull. You still stand by that?
Yeah, look, I saw fear in his eyes. I saw a man who just accepted a fight mostly for a paycheck. I saw a man who doesn't really have fight left in him. I saw a man who's been defeated multiple times now and who will be finished and sent into retirement by YouTube Disney star boxer.
Keyword, you saw a man. Something you're a problem child. That's what you saw. You haven't even been in front of enough people to know what to judge a face-off from. My sparring partners will finish you.
We'll see,
But nice watch, though.
Nice watch, kid.
We'll see what happens, I think your career is over, man.
I know. You think I know. It's two different things.
I'm going to bounce your brain off of your skull. Instant concussion, you will be on the mat. You're just not the same Tyrone anymore.
I never was Tyrone, number one. Number two, everything you just scripted and wrote and practiced in the mirror, you shaking while you even saying it. Like, this is a fight. This ain't fucking for play. This for real.
Tyron, let me ask you this. Let me follow up on that. Because you told the boxing scene, you're going to knock Jake out in 3 rounds. Said, quote, they're gassing him up.
Mm-hmm.
You've got power. He's old. He ain't won a fight in a million years. You're the more hungry, younger guy. You're taking taking me lightly, think you can beat me up. They're lying to this kid. I'm going to F him up. You still stand by that?
I mean, look at my resume. Look at all the up-and-coming fighters, the Darren Tills, the Kevin Gaslams, the one they gassed up and they gave false hope that they can get the job done. And watch what happened. None of them landed a punch. So him being athletic, him having a right hand, him getting everybody either wanting him to. So many people come up to me on a day-to-day basis. You got to knock him the fuck out. I'm like, damn, what this dude done did to everybody? He got people wanting to watch him. That's why we sitting here right now.
That's the exact pressure that's going to crack you on fight night.
No, the pressure's going to be on you, brother.
You have never been in a fight like this, and
Ever,
you know
right?
that the whole MMA community
Robbie
is
Lawler,
counting
Carlos
on you.
Condit, Darren Till. I've never been in a fight like that.
Don't know who the fuck those guys are.
Exactly.
You've never been on a fight of this scale.
Hall of Famers.
You've never been on
Pick
this
up your phone, you're on YouTube.
You've never
Go
been.
slide
You've
over
never
to
been
Hall
on a
of Fame.
fight of this scale, which is why this is the biggest payday of your life. And you know that the whole MMA community is counting on you to knock me out and to beat me. When you lost to Kamaru
I got one
Usman,
person counting
when
on
you
me.
lost to
Me.
Gilbert Burns, when you lost to all of those guys, you had built-in excuses.
When
They were
have
the
you
best.
fought anybody of that
they were the
caliber?
best. What happens when you lose to
When
Jake
have
Paul?
you fought anybody
What
of
happens
that
when you lose
caliber?
to Jake Paul? You're going to be the laughing stock
When
of the
have you
internet.
fought
Just like
anybody of that
just like I
caliber?
turned Nate Robinson into a floor mat, I'm going to turn you into fucking
Nate
paste.
Robinson plays basketball. He shoot 3 points and slam dunk.
Hey, Jake.
I knock people out for a living.
Is this the toughest fight when you look at the three that you fought? Tyron Woodley, toughest fight thus far?
Toughest by far. And that's exactly what I want. I want to continue to increase my opponent's, skill level. I want to challenge myself. This is a legitimate
Increase
knockout
my level?
artist. This is a legitimate knockout artist. He was boxing while I was on Disney Channel. He's been boxing probably 4 or 5 times as long as me. But August 29th, Cleveland, Ohio, in my hometown, you will see a boxing clinic be put on. And this man doesn't go more than 3 rounds.
Tyron, one of the things we saw on social media is that you show some pictures of you training with Floyd Mayweather. Can you tell us how those sessions went? And did he give you maybe some tricks that we will see on August 29th?
I mean, to get an opportunity to work out with Floyd Mayweather, an idiot would not take that advantage of that situation. He showed me stuff not specifically to defeat Jake, but to be a world-class boxer in general. Techniques, positions, placements, hand positioning, movements. In MMA, sometimes we waste energy. Sometimes we do a lot of shucking and jiving, and they don't have a purpose. Everything I do, everything I throw is going to hurt. My feints are going to hurt. It's going to make his body shake to the point where he don't know what the fuck's going on. So you can say, I'm out to say anything. I'm from the show me state. You got to show me. I've been in there. This ain't my first big stage. I was at the sold-out Madison Square Garden with the fight of the night. The biggest gate they've ever had in history. The best card in UFC history. I was a fight of the night.
That's not true. The biggest gate was last weekend in Vegas. But
the biggest gate of Madison Square Garden. Listen to what I say, young man.
So how is Floyd Mayweather going to teach you to beat me when he couldn't even finish my brother?
Just talk about money and just talk about clout. Because when we talk about fighting, you shouldn't even be talking in the same sentences with me.
I mean, we could talk.
I'm a Hall of Fame already. And I'm going to make history bouncing your head off the mat. Now what?
Well, we can talk about fighting. I mean, if you want to dive into it. I mean,
what can-
look at your
what can-
coaches.
dive
Look at your
into it,
coaches.
man. What can we
Pedro
refer
Diaz?
to?
Is it Eric Brown? Is it Floyd Mayweather? You're bouncing around coaches like you do baby mamas. How many kids you got now? You're a 39-year-old man who's
And
pull-up
guess
game
what?
is weak.
You know
Get
what's
your
funny?
shit together, bro.
You know what's funny? You got on
Get
all
your
this
shit together,
you
bro.
look like a rap video.
All of
Tell me
this-
somebody
all
in your
of this-
neighborhood that dressed like that.
I'm going fishing.
Tell me
after
somebody
this.
in your neighborhood that dressed like that.
I'm going fishing.
Tyron,
after this.
I am coaching.
How about this?
You want to be
People
a rapper.
rap about what I
you,
live.
You want to
My coaches are
be a
cohesive.
rapper. You
My
have
coaches
multiple
are
songs on
cohesive.
Spotify that fucking suck with 2 streams,
Brother,
buddy. You're
are you
39 years old
serious?
trying to become a rapper.
Are you serious?
You're trying to become a rapper.
Have you saw
Here's the thing.
yourself?
How about this?
Pull your hair
all
back
of the
and let's
money
see your
that,
line.
all of the money,
Pull the front of your
all
hair
of the
back and
money
let's
that
see
you're
your
getting
EBB.
from this fight is going to your baby mamas.
Pull your
you
hair back.
You bought a used Bentley.
You know
I
what's
seen
funny?
it on your Instagram. You
You know
bought a
what's
used
funny?
Bentley
My
with your money.
biggest flex is my
You
kid.
bought
I know.
a used Bentley
That's
with this
my
money.
biggest flex.
I think, but these guys want to
So
hear
you
about.
actually thank you guys.
They wanna hear about the fight.
Instagram covering up the steering wheel so you can't see how many miles is on it. He's like,
Bruh.
just got this Ocean Auto Club
What are we talking?
used
what are we
luxury
talking
car
about here?
dealership.
We're talking about fighting.
Yeah, let's talk about fighting.
I'm talking
So
about
guess
how
what?
you're a used
Let's talk about
bitch.
used Bentley, used bitch, and guess what? You gonna pay for those words, brother.
So let me ask you this, Tyron.
By the way, I'm not gonna pay. I'm paying you.
Plugs,
I'm paying you.
Plugs get pulled for that word. You gonna find out.
So
okay,
you
rapper.
gonna find out.
How about this?
Okay, rapper.
Tyron.
I'm culture. I can talk about culture.
A lot of
I'm
people,
what they rap about.
A lot of people have written because they go back to your UFC record and they say, well, he's lost his last 4. He even lost his last fight, obviously in the octagon. Does he still have enough left in the tank? Can you answer that?
Jake, meet me in sparring tonight. Let's get a warm-up in. I guarantee you when you leave the gym, you'll never fucking walk in that ring with me, ever. If you really want to see, if we're a fighter, if it's all about money or if it's all about clout, meet me at the gym today.
Jake,
Meet me at the gym.
You are stupid as fuck.
Holla at your boy.
Let me ask you this.
Watch what happens.
If you win this fight,
When?
and obviously you've knocked out everybody you face, if you stop him, what should they be saying about Jake Paul as a fighter?
I think they're already saying, man. I think the secret's out of the bag. Look, I'm sparring some of the best fighters in the world. Andrew Tabiti, Jean Pascal, Jalen Love, Rob Safar, Ahmed Ilibali. Like the list goes on.
Sparring thoughts.
And when I knock out Tyrone, I think people will be like, wow, this kid is
Tyron.
He's the real deal. Like Amanda Serrano out here. We were just training last night. She has one of the highest knockout rates for female boxers ever, about to beat the record, and we just like have that same mentality. I'm a real killer. I'm gonna take Tyrone into deep waters and drown him. And this is my make or break fight. People are wanting to see me lose.
Third round is deep water.
You know, the MMA community wants to see Jake Paul fall. They're counting on Tyrone, but he's just not gonna get the job.
Tyron.
So I know there are members of the media want to ask some questions. We'll end it with this. We'll start with you, Tyron. What can you guarantee people when they pay their money for Showtime pay-per-view on August 29th to see you fight Jake Paul? What can you guarantee you that they're going to get on August 29th?
Pain.
Jake, same question.
I mean, people know what they get when you're tuning into a Jake Paul event. That's
All
why.
3 times.
That's why I'm the most impactful 3-0 boxer in history. No fighter has ever accomplished what I've accomplished in 3 fights. And people can say I didn't earn it. People say I don't deserve it, but I'm earning more than any fighter has ever earned 3 fights in. And people know what they get when they tune into a Jake Paul show. I'm knocking this guy out. That's what people want to see. And we're putting on a show.
How you gonna do it? And I don't think
You can do it.
I don't think he don't deserve it. I think what he's doing is trying to, I'm a Disney, I'm a vlogger, and I'm fighting this seasoned veteran UFC champion. It's all just in case. It's a backup excuse for when I wax you in that ring. That's what it is. He a fighter. This is gonna look like a fight. It's a lot of fights that's taking place that people are like, oh, this is bad for the sport. Will look like a fight. It's not going. I'm not just finna walk out there and swing 2 punches and everybody think I'm knocking him out in 2 minutes. This is a real fucking fight. I'm training like I'm fighting Mike Tyson. I want y'all to really know that. So don't fall for the BS. Oh, I'm Disney. Oh, this is No, this is a fight. You want to fight me? You sign the line. It's war.
All right, that's August 29th. That's in Cleveland, Ohio, Jake Paul's hometown. So that's a little taste of the press conference. I'm intrigued by the fight. I'm rooting for Woodley, but if Jake Paul goes in there and handles business, not gonna lose any sleep. But yeah, again, August 29th, Cleveland, Ohio. All right. And moving on. You know what? What a crazy... You know what? Boxing's in a weird place. A very weird place. Because you got, your actual real boxers like Canelo. I think one of the Charlo brothers just fought, controversially won. So you got people like that, real boxers out there, Spence, Crawford. I don't need to catalog them. But then you got your freak show fights. And one of the biggest one, nobody's talking about it. Nobody said anything, like it's off the radar. Nobody saw Aaron Carter, Aaron Carter, Lamar Odom. It was an absolute train wreck. Like if ever a train wreck was a train wreck, this was a damn train wreck. All right. I mean, it started like Odom's just letting Aaron Carter tee off on him, like letting him taking everything Aaron Carter has to give. And Aaron was giving it every damn thing he had, but every damn thing he had was nothing. Nothing. So Odom starts connecting. Carter starts stumbling, spinning around. Then he gets dropped. Look, I'm not going to take a lot of time on this. Look, it ends when Carter gets dropped and just decides he's had enough of a beating. So that's how that fight ended. Absolute train wreck. And if you want to see the whole thing, I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Or you can find it on the net, I'm sure. I found it. So if you want to see the whole thing, check that out. But a train wreck. And I'm bringing this up because Anderson Silva once spoke out against these YouTubers getting into professional sports like boxing, things like that. And now a leaked message says that he's going to be Logan Paul's next opponent. See how I almost let the cat out of the bag last time when I slipped and said Logan Paul? I meant to switch that to this one. So I did. Logan Paul, it's looking like he's going to get in there with Anderson Silva, whom I'm sure you know. I just did a show. He just boxed Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and won. So, Logan Paul, what is your angle here? If this is your next opponent, what's your angle? Are you ever going to win a boxing match? Because by my count, you got beat by KSI. You got boxed up by Floyd Money Mayweather. Now you're getting in there with Anderson Silva, maybe? Like, are you ever going to win? Or is it just something for people to watch you do? Okay, your brother is actually winning stuff. You are just a loser, apparently. I'm not saying in life. But in the boxing ring, like, you've been nothing but a loser. Let's just keep it 100 with you. But I don't know what your angle is. Obviously, there's no date. That's speculation. But, yeah, there's a leaked message for you. I don't know what his career trajectory is. But all the time I'm going to spend on that. Moving along. Bare Knuckle Boxing Fighting Championship, BKFC. That's a long one. I said it all. Then I, gave you the acronym. All right, so why am I bringing this up? Did you see Hector Lombard? Yeah, he won a controversial stoppage when he beat Joe Riggs for the title, but they said he grabbed his trunks or something, punched him in the face. Joe Riggs could not continue, won the belt, and then this guy, Lorenzo Hunt, hops over the freaking rope, gets in his face, then gets touched up immediately. Did you see that? Well, here's a little promo video for you that I found on the internet here. It's kind of chilling, but yeah, here you go. And that's that. Well, I don't know if that fight's actually gonna happen, but we'll see. I'll be interested to see. I mean, the guy calls him a female dog, and then Lombard is like, I'm not afraid of no fighter, man, or something he said. I don't know what he said. But Lombard used to be a killer in Bellator. Like, people said he could beat Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva was a champion in that regard. He eventually went to the UFC, bounced to welterweight, back to middleweight, then out of there. Won some fight, lost some fights, but obviously lost enough to be let go. He's fighting BKFC. He's the champion now, all right? Historically, people say they don't like training with Hector Lombard because he trains like it's a real fight. We'll see. I don't even know if that fight's actually going to happen, but BKFC is usually good at picking up on feuds and rivalries and fights that people want to see. And to that respect, PVZ, Paige Van Zandt, 12 gauge, is getting in there with Rachel Ostrovich. Yeah, they signed her. I mean, Paige Van Zandt lost her debut in BKFC. Now they're putting her in there, Rachel Ostrovich, who they fought in the UFC already. Now they're doing bare knuckle boxing. Let's be real. They put them in there because they both look good. All right? That's all they're putting them in there. They think eyeballs are going to be on that. I'm sorry. There's not going to be a wardrobe malfunction. So if you're tuning in for that, don't even bother. All right, and again, Artem Lobov is returning. I did see a date. I don't have the date for you right now, but he is returning to bare knuckle boxing. I had to look into that because I was thinking, where the hell's the GOAT been? Where's the Russian Hammer? Where is Artem Lobov? Yeah, he's going to be making his return. You can get the date on that. Sorry, I don't have it for you, but look into that. And moving along. Cupcake. No, not an actual Cupcake, even though she loves them, is why she got the nickname. But Cupcake, Misha Tate, yeah, she came back, defeated previously mentioned Marion Renault, who is long in the tooth. Sorry, but she's long in the tooth. All right, yeah, she's very, very old. All right, if you don't know what long in the tooth means, she's old. Old. All right, old. But Misha definitely TKO'd her in round 3, and I believe the last fight night. Yeah, she TKO'd her round 3, so she's back on the prowl. She's got name notoriety, former champion, lost her belt to champion Amanda Nunes. So I'm sure she's going to be trying to angle a rematch to get some gold wrapped around her waist. And hell, I could even see her cutting to 125 and trying to take the strap off of Valentina. But I don't know. Just wanted to bring that up because I am a fan of Miesha Tate. So yeah, she won that fight. That was UFC Fight Night, July 17th, if you want to go back and watch that. Alright, moving along. I got some things to play for you here concerning with the one Conor McGregor. Now everybody knows by now, highly freaking profile fighter Conor McGregor breaks his ankle, breaks his leg in the trilogy fight against the Diamond Dustin Poirier. Well, this is Conor actually in the hospital prior to that, and he's got a mixed message. He comes with a more positive message, and then he switches gears on the previous message. And I'll tell you why I think.
What's up, fight fans? The Notorious here. Just out of the surgery room. Everything went to plan. Everything went perfect. I'm feeling tremendous. We got 6 weeks on a crutch now, and then we begin to build back. You know, I want to thank all the fans all around the world for your messages of support. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I want to thank all the fans in attendance at the T-Mobile Arena, 21,800 fans in attendance. The place was absolutely electric.
Absolutely.
It was a hell of a first round. It would have been nice to get into that second round.
Oh, no.
And then, you know, to see what's what. But it is what it is. That's the nature of the business. A clean break of the tibia, and it was not to be. You know, Dustin, you can celebrate that illegitimate win all you want, but you've done nothing in there. That second round would have shown all. And, you know, onwards and upwards we go, team. We dust ourselves off.
Positive.
We build ourselves back, and we come back better than ever.
See how he's got blood in his ear? I think people said something about that because now he's sitting here wiping the blood out of his ear. I think he got comments saying, did Dustin bust your eardrum, dude, kid? You know what I mean? I think that got in his head. And then they were saying that the ground and pound. So this is his message coming back from after he posted the first video.
Couple of little scratches on the ear, that's all there.
See?
Oh my God, the ground and pound! Yeah, right. Leave it out, Liz. Novices.
See, it's bravado. Like it's you know, people talking jive, you know what I mean? You know, you jive ass turkey, you know what I mean? They're talking jive to him. So I'm sure it got in his head, so he felt the need to come back with that message. Well, fortunately for you guys, I'm actually not done here, alright? Because Conor McGregor then also came back to discuss the actual leg break in a more, how can I put this? A more... Let me just play it for you, and you take what you will from it. But here is his actual, because Dustin, you know, said that he checked the kick. You know, if people know that he said he checked the kick, and you can see Dustin like pointing at him or whatever. But really, if you watch that, like it didn't land on his knee. I mean, and it was his foot. It wasn't his actual ankle. I mean, take that for what it's worth. Anything's possible. Maybe it was, but this was his message pertaining to the actual leg break.
I was injured going into the fight. People are asking me, when was the leg broke? At what point did the leg break? Ask Dana White, ask the UFC, ask Dr. Davidson, the head doctor of the UFC. They knew I had stress fractures in my leg going into that cage. There was debate about pulling the thing out because I was sparring with no shin pads and I kicked the knee a few times. So I had multiple stress fractures in the shin bone above the ankle. And then I have trouble with the ankle anyway, do you know what I mean? Throughout the years of fucking fighting all the time. So, And I also was wrapping my ankle. I was wrapping my ankle every training session. You know, I even done a lot of training sessions where when the ankle was sore, I still wouldn't stop training. I used to just train on my back. And that's how I developed those ground and pound shots from the back. That's why I just them back the way.
If you want to take those for excuses, reasons, I'm comfortable with either. I mean, I know you don't need me to be comfortable with your opinion. All right, but you can call them reasons, you can call them excuses. But I do want to play some audio. This is actually Dana White pertaining to McGregor's claims. And this is what Dana had to say about it.
Well, you know, it's going to take him a year to recover from this one before he can come back. So, I don't know. We'll see. You know, the fight game is a tough game. And, you know, the kid's cemented a massive legacy for himself and made a lot of money. So
100%.
We'll see how the rest of this career plays out.
Now he's saying, oh, you know, my leg had issues. People knew about that. Was that something that people knew about or not?
Yeah, well, he's had ankle issues for, you know, last couple of years. And, you know, he had asked if he could tape his ankles coming into this fight, and he got clearance to do it from the Nevada State Athletic Commission, and then he opted not to tape them. I don't know why. But, yeah, he has chronic arthritis.
Now, if you go back and look at one of Conor McGregor's fights, I believe he did have his ankle taped, which is interesting because Sugar Sean O'Malley, which is the next fighter I'm talking about, like, has his ankles taped usually, and he has ankle problems as well. He's had them in 2 fights. I spoke about that when I broke down his last fight. Other than that, the reason why I want to talk about Sugar Sean, because obviously he put on a striking clinic against Chris Monteneau. It was a tremendous performance. I was highly entertained. And a lot of that was just Chris Monteneau being a tough son of a gun. I mean, you could hit this guy in the face with a wooden Louisville Slugger and he'd probably spit toothpicks back at you. I'm not kidding. The guy, O'Malley, threw everything but the kitchen sink at this guy's head and landed. He was landing at a tremendously high percentage. It was disgusting. And if you watch it, he was even styling on him. He was dribble, bop, bop, dribble, bop. You know what I mean? In and out. Like, it was disgusting. And a lot of people were you know, standoffish about the finish because Monteneau didn't get dropped. But I think he was mercifully rescued. So I have no problem with that stoppage. But a tremendous performance for O'Malley. And the fight got Fight of the Night. The Fight of the Night bonuses for $75K. So good for both of those guys. Again, this is why I'm talking about Sean O'Malley. So apparently, you know, Sean, sorry about that. Apparently Sean O'Malley, well, not apparently, but he's always got different colored hair. And a lot of people compared him to who? Tekashi 6ix9ine. So for some reason, these two decided to hook up and hang out. And I wanted to play, look at this. So apparently, Sugar Sean gets a damn 6ix9ine tattoo on his shoulder. Yeah, you're looking at it right here. This actually happened. Look. You see Tekashi, he's in there. And then the real tattoo artist takes over, finishes it up. But yeah, now he's got a 6ix9ine tattoo. So they're like, oh, no. At first he's like, my hair is nothing like Tekashi 6ix9ine's. And now he's hanging out with him, got a tattoo 6ix9ine right on his damn shoulder. Like, that's where girls get tattoos sometimes. But he's got enough tattoos on him that I guess it makes sense. But yeah, so I guess they're buds now. Sugar Sean O'Malley and one Tekashi 6ix9ine. Alright, well, that's pretty much all I got for you. I did want to play one thing that I thought was absolutely hilarious before I get out of here. Yeah, so I leave you with this gem.
Why was Poirier's wife texting or attempting to text McGregor on Instagram?
There was a huge beef between both camps over a donation to Poirier's charity.
That's one theory.
Who's this clown, and is he trying to imply that Jolie was DM sliding here, Luke?
All right, that's for Morning Combat.
Hey, can you take this cup from me? Okay. Because you standing there looking real silly for no reason.
That's what I leave you with. And that's all. That's all I got for you. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment, the whole 9. And as always, I think I already said that, but I'm not going to say it a third time. I'll just close this out. Stay frosty.
Too much money, I got too much. I got too much money, I got too much. Day ones from intro to outro. Way up, we stay up, you know what we bout, bro. Too much money, I got too much. I got too much money, I got too much. Always been the same me. Always staying low key. I got too much money, I got too much. I got too much money, I got too much. Kelly said them haters gon' hate. Long as I stay, I'm away. I don't care what these suckers gotta say. I know the game and I know how it's played. Wait a minute, I got too much money, I got too much. I got too much money, I got too much. Okay, more ends, less friends, best name, Big Ben. I'm way up, I'm ballin', I'm not so bothering. I got too much money, I got too much. I got too much money, I got too much. I got too much money.